Yes. Oh, great. This first comic coming up is such a treat. You guys are going to love him. Please, a big warm welcome to Lawrence Raia, everybody.
Hi, I'm Lawrence. I'm Cathuish, which means, Catholic and Jewish, which means it's a big time of year for me. And most of you probably think, Catholic and Jewish, both sides of your family, probably pretty different. And they're really not. Especially my aunts, they're exactly the same. None of them know how to whisper, and none of them know what's appropriate to say or do in a religious place. So, for example, I'm at temple with my Aunt Sherry, and she decides that this is the best time to talk to her friend Phyllis. And Phyllis is, let's say, 9 rows in front of us. So she leans in front of me and she goes, Phyllis! Phyllis! I'm here with my nephew. Isn't he gorgeous? I live for him. He's gorgeous. Is your niece here? We can set them up. She's not here? Okay, later. Or I'm at church with my Auntie Jenna, and I'm talking with my cousin because we're bored and we're at church, and she whips her keys at me, and they hit me in the back of the head, and I turn around because she just hit me with keys, and she looks at me and she goes, God can see you. And then I whisper to my cousin, because I think I'm funny, do you think he saw her throw the keys at us? And then she smacks me in the back of the head, and she goes, he can hear you too. And so the crazy does not stop with just the aunts. It's well embedded in the uncles as well. So I'm at Christmas Eve, I'm sitting on the couch, and my Uncle Angelo sits down next to me. We call him Big Uncle Ange. And he's exactly how you think he is. He's got the slicked hair, he's got enough jewelry to drown him in the pool. He's got the big belly, he's beautiful. So he sits down next to me, and he says his line that when he says it, whatever follows is gonna be great. So he sits down and he goes, so I'm minding my own business. So I turn the TV off and I give him my full attention, because this is important. So he looks at me and he goes, so I'm minding my own business. So my electric stovetop down the shore, that breaks. So I jump on the motorcycle, I go down the turnpike to Home Depot to get a new one. And I get the new one, I strap it to the back of the motorcycle, and I go back down the turnpike. Halfway down the turnpike, the son of a gun falls off and skips a couple lanes, gets run over. I stop, I get off, I go pick it up, I'm dancing around cars. I'm agile, like a jungle cat, like a panda, So I pick it up, I throw it back on the motorcycle, and I go back to Home Depot. I get there, I walk in, I go to the counter, I skip the line. That's not for me. And I look at the guy behind the counter, and I go, yo, glasses. Bradley, come here. So I take Bradley over to where I have the stovetop, and I tell him, and I go, Bradley, zoom in on that with your 4 eyes. I need to exchange this because you sold it to me broken. And he looks at me and he goes, sir, are you sure the damage didn't happen after we sold it? It has tire marks on it. And I look at him and I says, Bradley, if you examine it real careful like, you will see it's still in the box. Therefore, you sold it to me broken. And I need a new one. Bradley wisens up to this. He looks at me and he says, sir, I'm gonna go get you a new one on us. And then I leave. So I'm on winter break now, and I'm spending a lot of time with my family. And the other part of my winter break, I'm looking at colleges. I'm a junior. And something you do when you go see a college, you do an interview, usually. And I have a little bit of a problem. I adopt the accent of wherever I am, and I lie. I make up just a character. So I'm up at Boston College, and I'm interviewing with the guy, and he's talking to me, and he's asking me, about my family and my friends, and I become Will from Good Will Hunting. I'm telling him about my buddy Morgan and my 12 brothers. You know, you got Maki, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joe, Robbie, Johnny, and Brian. And I tell him how I'm a math whiz at MIT and I'm working at construction. And he looks at me and he goes, "Is that from Good Will Hunting?" And I go, "Allegedly." "If it is the interview over?" He says yes, and I leave. So I'm probably not going to Boston College. I went down to Georgetown. I thought I'm good. There's no accent there. The guy interviewing me is Scottish. I walk into the interview. He looks at me and he says, "Laddie, name's Seamus. How are ya?" And I think to myself, don't do it. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. But I couldn't stop myself. I look at him and I go, "Seamus! I'm great, how are you?" Thanks, I'm Lawrence.
Give it up for Lawrence! Oh my goodness.